This Road Dirt presentation is brought to you by Law Tigers, motorcycle lawyers. Find them at lawtigers.com. On this episode of Road Dirt, Mike Boyd learns about Grom swapping in the small bore community. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Josh.
Nice to meet you, Josh.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
I'm Josiah.
Thank you. And we're talking about the Grom conversions to the 300. And you're going to tell me all about it. Preferably what you look for, what model you look for when you're buying the 300s. Are they all the same?
Well, as far as I know, the CBR300R fits, but there's also an engine that's quite similar to it, the CB300.
Okay.
CB300F maybe. But that Honda 300 engine seems to be the one that everybody likes to put in there as the easiest.
Is that like all the other R's that they have?
No. These are just, the 300 is a single cylinder.
Okay, yeah. So the R doesn't mean that it's like the 650s and or like the Gixxers and stuff like that.
I don't know what the R means.
You don't know. No, so you don't know.
It was on my bike when I bought it.
I gotcha. Okay.
And the reason I went to the CBR swap was when I first got my bike. The only thing I didn't like about it was I thought it should have just a little bit more power.
So you went overboard.
Well, there were two options.
Okay.
One option was spend about $2,000 and upgrade your motor and make a bunch of power, but then you sacrifice longevity.
Probably. Yeah.
And the other option was you buy a used CBR and take all the donor parts off of that and put it on your bike.
Okay.
And you end up, well, in the beginning it was cheap.
Yeah.
I paid $1,100 for my CBR.
But now everybody's doing it, so it's gotten worse.
Well, I'm just saying at the end you have a lot of money tied up in it.
Yeah. Well, I was, like I said, I was looking at eBay and those parts. Like if you start looking at the exhaust systems and all the other stuff, I guess they have a wiring that you buy.
Yeah.
All these little parts, they all add up. Yeah.
So the community of Grom swapping guys, they make a lot of stuff and they make a lot of options. So you can keep your original Grom dash if you like.
Yeah.
Or you can use your CBR dash if you like. But there are some problems no matter where you go, but there are people out there solving all the problems.
Of course.
You have.
For a price.
For a price.
Of course. Yeah, and I like what you've done with your those pictures you showed, you gave me on the frame modification. Are you the only one that's doing that?
No. I imagined that after, because when I did my first one, I used the 90-degree elbow to get the throttle body out where you could, where it would fit. And when I rode it for the first time, it was nice. It had more power, but it had dead spots in the RPM range, and then it didn't like the idle when it came to a stoplight. So I just decided I would come around it.
So you figured that was the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I Googled a bunch, and there is a couple guys out there that already done it like that and stated that this is the best way to go because you don't change the throttle body loop.
Sure. Yeah.
So then it was just about figuring out how everything's going to fit when you do it.
So you were able to just lay this, like I looked at the way you did the frame mod, and you just did one side and then the other side, so you didn't have it jigged on a piece of plywood or anything like that?
I made my first frame pieces, welded them on.
Okay.
So I had one side welded, and then I cut my inner backbone frame out. So it's already supported at the right rake, distance.
But you measured it so you're in line, the rear of the bike's in line with the front now.
Yeah, well, before I cut the backbone out, I already welded in my one side, so it was already stabilized.
Okay.
And then I cut the middle out, my other two on.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen people do stuff like that with other motorcycles, bikes they were repairing because they were wrecked, and they have to take or like the old days when they were changing the front ends, changing the rake on them. They have to do that too.
I didn't want to do too many crazy things to it.
Yeah.
Because
no, these are beautiful. They work. Yeah.
Well, I liked the way they handled and rode, and I didn't want to change that.
Yeah. Okay.
I was worried enough that I was gonna by putting a heavier motor in it.
Oh sure. And you say it tracks real good on the Dragon and all that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
good.
So, any recommendations to people as far as what parts to go with, or is it just a matter of luck or preference?
Well, when you go online, I think most guys that are doing this will spend a little bit of time online researching, and the guys that are in the community have enough stuff on the internet that you will come across their websites. But I used a lot of steady garage stuff.
Okay.
Hard racing, I used some of their stuff. Oh, there's some individual guys. On the spot, I can't think of all their names, but
yeah. Well, there's going to be a bunch of people down here today at the rally that's going to talk about that. I see they're even doing swaps in the show. That's a category this year. So,
okay.
Yeah, you going to join? You're not going to enter.
Huh. That would mean I have to clean it now.
Oh no, not necessarily.
See, they're all dirty and muddy, and
yeah. Well,
he's lucky to get a chain tightener out of me today.
I noticed my chain's a little. Looks like after a trip on the Dragon, it looks a little droopy too. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time and your friendship.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Morning. My name is Mike. I'm with Road Dirt Magazine, and I'm here with
TJ. Grom Swap the World.
Okay. And you're going to tell us a little bit about what you guys do with.
Yeah. So we do basically big engine or twin cylinder CC swapped bikes. Yeah.
Okay.
Into Groms.
Okay. So you're not just doing 300s.
No, we're way past 300s. We do custom frame, custom gas tanks, and they're twin swap, which it's comparable to a 300. Some of the swaps are comparable to a 300, but they're a lot smoother, a lot more horsepower, a lot more reliability, and there's just a wide range of things you can do with them.
Oh yeah, I noticed that the guy that I talked to yesterday that's doing the 300s, he has to modify the frame in order to keep the intake in the middle.
Yep.
Are you doing the same thing?
Yep. So we modify the frames and everything so they run just like factory. Because that's the biggest complaint with the 300s is they got a 3D printed elbow, they got a billet elbow, but the injector angle just doesn't really jive well with the stock ECU and everything.
Yeah.
We're taking stock engines, stock ECU, stock throttle bodies, everything out of like a Kawasaki 400 like this bike. We're taking it out of a Kawasaki Ninja 400 and we're putting it straight into a Grom or a Z125.
Okay.
So it runs just like factory, yeah.
And you're having to change the suspension and I guess the weakest point's the front forks.
The front forks. We put springs and everything in them, and we work a lot with like Racing Bros and Steady Garage to do upgraded springs and forks and everything. And we do the upgraded rear shock and everything. We've got a whole program to kind of just work with the stock stuff, or I'm sorry, the stock Grom stuff, but upgrade it in a way that it supports the bigger engine and everything too.
I know I've got a Monkey that I did a 149 mod on, and you spend $2,000 on that.
You're gonna spend a lot more, but you're gonna get a decent amount. I mean, you can take all these bikes on the highway at 85 miles an hour and just rip.
I know. 65 is about my top.
65 on a big bore or something. I mean, you're winding it out, and it's not gonna last. I'm sorry. I love the stock Grom stuff, and it's badass. And David at GHM does a great job. But you're on borrowed time, and we've taken the borrowed time part out of it, and it's a reliable stock bike at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it's a stock bike. It's a Ninja 400 in a Grom or a KTM 890 or whatever you want to put into it.
Yeah.
The bike doesn't know that it's swapped, you know, and it'll run like a stock bike. We do on this bike here. This is a Kawasaki 500 swap Z125. It'll run 100 miles an hour for 2 hours, so, you know, until it runs out of gas. So it's like a stock bike, yeah.
So you also running what, 14s?
we're running, on some of them, we're running 13s because with the upgraded power and everything, a 13-inch tire has a little bit better of a speed rating.
Okay.
The 12-inch tires are only rated to 75 or 80 miles an hour.
Sure.
The 13s are rated to 115. So on a lot of them, we switched to the 13s just because it's safer, you know?
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. Okay, that's great. Thank you very much.
I appreciate y'all stopping.
Okay,
Hey,
sure.
check out Grom Swap the World on Instagram, Facebook. I've got a YouTube as well.
Okay.
I appreciate everybody stopping out and talking. It's been awesome.